In this video, we are going to be learning how to construct triangles when given one side and two angles. And as usual, we are going to start with an example. And then for this work, we would need a pencil. Make sure it is sharp but not too sharp to tear the book. We'll need a pair of compass. And then with a pencil attached to it, make sure it is tight so that it doesn't move along the line, so as to make sure for accurate measurements. And then when you place this, make sure they are equal, right? They should always be equal. If one is long, like, so as not to get some values that are not correct, and then you also use a rule. So the first thing we do is we look at the question, the measurements given to us. We have to construct a triangle PQR such that QR is 8 cm, angle PQR is 60 degrees, and angle QRP is 45 degrees. When we've done this, what we have to do is to have a sketch. This will be a plan before we start the construction. Now we are going to start with the sides. With the side lying horizontally, right? The side is named QR and it is 8 cm, right? At the end of the construction, you're going to clean up this sketch. So we have QR is this. So we have PQR. So that means there should be a P somewhere. PQR is 60 degrees. If this was 60 degrees, so that means P was here, right? We have 60 degrees here. And then we have QRP. So the angle here will be 45 degrees. QRP is 45 degrees. Remember, this is a sketch, so to give us a plan of work, right? Okay. So now, having sketched the plan, having sketched the triangle, we are now going to start construction. Now, the first thing we are going to do is to draw a line. And since this is 45 degrees here, we are going to extend that line, make it longer. Because to construct 45 degrees, we have to first of all construct 90 degrees. And 90-degree angles need an extra line on this side. So I'm going to draw a long line and then mark out the points that we need. So I'm going to have my line longer, right? Okay, having this long line, we needed 8 cm. So from point 2, right, to point 10, that should be 8 cm. Or you measure it out. It doesn't, okay. See, right? 8 cm. So these are the points of our triangle. So we name here Q, we name here R, right? So you've measured out the 8 cm. Now we are going to construct 60 degrees on this side according to the plan that we already have. So that's the need for a plan. Then with a suitable, just a little radius, a small radius. So we have this point. We're going to construct this. And then at this point on the line, the point of intersection of this arc, make sure it's always exact. You're going to mark this point, then this point exactly, that's where the line QP is going to pass through. So now I'm going to draw a line passing through point Q and this point of intersection and make the line long enough. So this is it. This is it. Always test it to make sure it will pass through those points. Make it long enough. Okay. Then at point R, we are going to construct angle 90 degrees first. Then we bisect it to get 45 degrees. To construct angle 90 degrees, we are going to place the sharp point of the compass at this point, the point R over which we want to construct angle 90 degrees. We are going to make this arc, right? And then at this point, At this point, we are going to extend it a little, right? And then make an arc over R. At this point, we also make an arc over R. This point of intersection, the line passing through point R and that point of intersection, makes angle 90 degrees with the horizontal line. So this exact point and this exact point, we have to test it to make sure it will pass through. Okay, so this is angle 90 degrees, but that is not what we require. We require 45 degrees. So when we bisect this angle 90 degrees, we are going to get 45 degrees. So we are going to place this here using a suitable radius. We make an arc. At this point, we also make an arc. The point of intersection, right? That is the point where angle 45 degrees passes through. So we are going to draw a line to pass through these points R and this. You can extend it as above here. So this forms points P, right? This was 60 degrees. This is 45 degrees, and then this is 8 cm. Always label your diagram after construction. So that is it. Now before we go, we are going to construct one more, because perfect practice, like constant practice, makes perfection. Okay, we are to construct triangle XYZ such that YZ is 10 cm, angle XYZ is 60 degrees, and angle XZY is 75 degrees. The first thing we do is we sketch. So the horizontal line is 10 cm and it is named YZ. XYZ. So there should be an X somewhere, Y and Z, right? So that is 60 degrees. So this is X, right? And then XZY, that is the angle here, is 75 degrees. So if this was 75 degrees, then at the point of intersection is our X. So this is the sketch we'll go by. The first thing we do is we are going to draw a horizontal line of 10 cm. Now I'm going to extend the line to make it long enough. Oh. Right? So we are going to measure out 10 cm on that line. So this is point 10 and this is point 0. So these 2 points, this is Y and this is Z. Okay, so when we've done that, we are going to make angle 60 degrees here using a suitable arc at point Y. We're going to make an arc at this point of intersection. You make a mark. This forms 60 degrees. So we're going to rule a line and extend it so much. Make sure it passes through this point. Okay, then we are going to construct 75 degrees here. Now for 75 degrees, we'll be needing angle 60 and angle 90. And we'll soon know why. So we are going to make this usual arc, right? Then from this point, you're going to make angle 60 here, because the bisection between angle 60 and angle 90, that's going to be 15. Okay, so this is 60 degrees. Now we are going to construct 90 degrees. So placing at this point, we extend it, make a mark over point Z. We place at this point, make a mark over point Z. This point of intersection, that is 90 degrees. So we're going to draw the line passing through point Z and that point, 90 degrees. Extend it. So now if this was 60, right? This is 60, not was. This is 60, this is 90. Between 60 and 90 is 30, right? So when we bisect this 30-degree angle, we are getting 15. 15 plus 60, that is 75. So that is why we have this. We needed angle 75 degrees, right? Okay. So we are going to bisect this angle. So we make sure it's at that point. We make an arc at this point. Point of angle 60 degrees, we make an arc. Oh, it didn't touch that. So we're going to redraw this. Good. So this is the point of intersection. Oh my God. Is that I made a mistake of this diagram is going to pass through the question. Sorry for this, but just for the sake of clarity of the video, that is why I had to use this small space. Always use a very large space for your constructions. Make sure your constructions are neat. Wow. So we are going to, okay, I'll show you where they intersect. We are going to extend this line the more. Wow, this was a really big diagram. Wow. So you draw the line, any point where they intersect, that is point X. So sorry for this, but I hope you understand the whole construction. Okay, and then at the end of the day, you clean off all your sketches, like this sketch, but all these markings from the protractor and pencil, that should be left. That's why it's construction.